Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are having our 30th talk on green business, sustainability, and climate action. And we will have a lineup of guest speakers again to share their experiences on the topic. And I'm inviting Ms. Michelle Thatcher for opening remarks for this talk. So the floor is yours, Ms. Michelle.
Thank you so much and welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you with us today. Um, Today, we're going to explore how leadership, culture, green enterprise, and climate resilience converge to shape the future of sustainable development. So, we will begin with Dr. Dina, who will walk us through how green leadership and organizational culture create future ready, responsible companies. And next, Dr. Mustafa will shift our attention to one of the most urgent climate challenges facing hospitality sector, waste management, and the economic, environmental, and business opportunities it presents. We will then hear from Ms. Safina, who works in herbal industries and offers a powerful model for community empowerment, biodiversity conservation, and green entrepreneurship. And finally, Engineer Doa will share insights from engineering urban sustainability climate adaptation in the MENA region, rounding out our view of how innovation and resilience can emerge even in the most climate stressed environments. So, thank you so much for being with us, our esteemed speakers. And as we head in, please continue and start sharing where you're from in the comment section. Please mark your calendar for next Thursday, or 2 weeks from now, Thursday, December 18th, for the Green Skills and Sustainable Innovation Forum. So we're shifting gears a little bit as we head in, start heading into the new year. But we really, really look forward to seeing you there. And last week, I said thank you for contributing to our epic uh, uh, world class exposure that we're having on LinkedIn. But what I should have really said is congratulations, because this is because of all of you. This is your award. This is your recognition because of your active participation, your sharing, all of your commenting, the insightful questions that you're asking, the continued networking and action and opportunities that you are providing through this series. So thank you very much, and congratulations to each of you who are out there and continuing supporting this program. And as always, we will take a moment of silence because there is quite a bit of unrest in the world. So we want to just take a breath to give peace, love, and kindness out there. And let's continue that support to give to each of our speakers today as we head into this session. And just some friendly reminders. We encourage your participation. As I just mentioned, it's why this is an award-winning event that we're having. And so always keep in mind that we want to, have the insights be inclusive and positive as possible. Please share your city and country. And again, ask questions as each speaker is going. You can even go back. You can always say who that question is for. And I just want to say thank you again. We're so honored to have you with us as an audience. You are part of this series. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it back to Dr. Wissam, who has brought us all together today. And without him, we would not have this amazing series. So without further ado, Dr. Wissam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. And I think today we are having a remarkable program and webinar since we just started the first talk, and now we are marking the 30th one. So this is a kind of a great achievement, and definitely we are welcoming Dr. Dina Yusri. And Dr. Dina is the Vice Director of the Executive Education Programs at the German University in Cairo. So the floor is yours, Dr. Dina.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wissam, and thank you for the organizers, for the esteemed speakers, and of course to all our audience. Today, let me take you through what green leadership is and how actually there are some sort of dynamics between leadership, organization, and culture, and corporate sustainability. I would like to highlight today how do we build future-ready, responsible organization. Of course, I will take you very brief toward these ideas. So, to start off with a very important question that is always raised: why are leadership and culture crucial for sustainability? Why should we care? Why should we invest in culture, for example, as a determinant? So, when I was thinking of this question, I came across a very nice quote by Peter Drucker, says that culture eats strategy for breakfast. This actually summarizes everything because no matter how much you invest in your strategies, objectives, goals, or your KPIs, if you do not have the ready culture to support this, this will take you down. Even it's not only about sustainability, it's about your business objectives. So culture is a key pillar for organization success. In fact, when we like to introduce the idea of this culture support, green leadership, and corporate sustainability, we have to start by a very brief definition. How do we look at corporate sustainability? Corporate sustainability is a very broad topic. However, the key dimensions or determinants in corporate sustainability would be is to balance economic growth along with environmental consideration and social well-being. So this is the bigger picture we are aiming for. The balancing of these determinants. People are always asking, especially businesses, why should we care? Why would it matter to consider balancing economic growth, environmental care, and social well being? A very possible argument would be first of all, is like pressure from your stakeholders, including the community you're living in, including the customers you're dealing with or serving, including other business partners, and many more. With the emerge of the concept of sustainability, with the pressure from the society and the development of standard like the ESG standards, and above all with the pressuring climate risks that we are encountering nowadays, and even that is escalating very rapidly in the near future, that's why we should care about corporate sustainability. And in order to better understand the idea, we have to understand what's the role of leadership in all that. The role of leadership is to lead the organization, yet with environmental and social and ethical values. So this introduced the concept or the definition of green leadership. Green leadership is crucial for corporate sustainability, for organizational success. Leadership actually, or green leadership, has a set of characteristics that we need to consider. For example, it's the leader who prioritizes sustainability in decision making. So it's an essential element when it comes to any decision you're taking in the organization. Actually, it's the leader who inspire eco-conscious behavior in this organization. He's the leader that aligns business success with environmental, social responsibility. In fact, to better grasp the entire idea, we have to give like a brief idea what organization culture is. It's as simple as it's the way we do things around here. How do we behave? It's the shared values we have. It's the shared beliefs. It's the practices that we adopt. Those are the pillars of a culture. So culture is when it comes to like daily activity, from day to day routine choices to even long term strategies and goals. So for any organization to succeed, there is no three main ingredients or components to deal with. It's actually the leadership you have, it's the culture that you encourage, and of course it's sustainability consideration. So how the three interacts is very important to understand or to begin with. In fact, green leaders are the one who shape the green culture, is the one who determine what culture should we go for and what culture should uh, continue. So this is a very important part. Culture is the determinants of, or actually culture is the one who influence sustainable practices. So it's either the culture that supports the practice or block or hinder its achievement. So we have to consider the alignment between the three, between the leadership, between the culture, and between the sustainability. In fact, when I try to summarize the idea of how organization culture could be green, so in fact, to better explain that, we have to say that the characteristics of a green organizational culture would be that our shared values is actually revolving around sustainability. So this is what we believe in. It's a culture that encourage employee involvement. It's a culture that consider green practices in the daily operation, from the tiniest of the details to the largest one or the main objective. And most importantly is the culture that consider and encourage transparent communication, because communication is found to be, according to lots of research, as one of the most important reasons behind failure across organization. So you have to be transparent about everything you do, to work internally and externally. Okay, you have to start by aligning actually your objective with the SDGs. A very good practice that organizations do follow and consider is that they draft like a matrices that align how SDGs is actually aligning with organizational culture and organizational values and objectives. How can we support the SDGs or the 17 goals? What goals are we perfectly aligned with that we support? What other goals that we can work on, whether in the short or long term? In fact, this requires a leader, a green leader that supports that. As I briefly just mentioned, what determine a green leader, if you want to act in that manner, you have to consider like long-term objectives, long-term goals, rather than short-term immediate profit. You have to drop the idea of, I would like to maximize the profit no matter what is going on to the society, to the environment, even to my employees. It's prioritization of long-term rather than short-term goals. It requires a visionary thinker. So it requires that you work toward a goal, not only business-oriented decision when it comes to maximizing profit, but working toward value creation. So we have to drop the idea of profit maximization, focus more on the value you create. It's the leader that consider the ethical dimension in each and every decision. Okay, the ethical part is an integral part of sustainability. It's the leader actually that consider the triple bottom line approach. So when you make a decision, you're not only prioritizing the profit or the business model, but you actually consider the people and the entire planet, your community, the society you're operating in, your employees, the environmental damage. So this is the optimum approach to consider while thinking in a green manner. So other factors that characterize green leader is that he's the one that promote innovation in green practices. So when you communicate your vision, you consider communicating green practices. When you set policies, you set policies that do support that. You should not be acting in a totally different manner. You have to align your vision with the green policies you're setting. You have to lead by example, because according to cultural studies, employees follow you. They do not only follow policies and rules and regulation, they follow the leader. The way you act is the way that inspire employees to act. Okay, the famous example that again I came across was the one of Paul Polman in Unilever. When he decided to change a tiniest detail, he decided to stop the idea of quarterly reporting, and he said it's not about a small period of time, but rather we should be oriented toward long-term sustainability. This small act started to integrate sustainability in the organization. He did not invest in a huge project, yet he started by a small act. So if you want to build such green leadership, if you want to build a green culture, I believe it's three main pillars to build on. First and most importantly is to start by building awareness and education. Employees cannot act what they do not understand. So you have to start by investing in training programs that supports the concept of sustainability. You have to educate your employees about what sustainability is, what's the best practices, what do we need to consider, when do we need to consider, how to prioritize on which dimension and why. You can even create green champions in your organization. You can empower task force. You can have internal campaigns toward specific goals. Second point would be embedding values. So it's not only that you speak about sustainability casually, but it become an integral part of your organization. This could work through your strategy. So if you start integrating sustainability in your strategy, this would make sure that it's actually working in this organization. In your strategy, in your mission, in your vision, in your shared values with your employees and society. And actually to close the loop, not only to put it in the strategy, to put it in your KPIs. So you have to start embedding green KPIs in your performance review, in your hiring, in your procurement decision, what to buy, from where to buy, what is the impact of this purchase, who to hire, and even more when it comes to evaluation. This needs to be integrated in all of these concepts. And third, an important point would be, as we just mentioned, is to lead by example. Top management actually must model sustainable behavior. They have to commit visibly to sustainability so the employees or the community can see that. A nice example would be IKEA. IKEA integrated the green culture, start off with the, for example, wanted to reduce energy consumption. So they started by transforming all the lighting in the stores to be 100% LED, followed by product designs. So they work toward how can we make a product design more durable, sustainable, less resources utilized in? How can you even recycle waste from the product used? So that's the starting point. So to highlight what would be the enabler of any green culture, enablers would be to having a strong leadership commitment, to communicate clearly sustainability visions and goals to everyone in your stakeholder, to make sure that your employees are actually engaged in the program. And I'm sorry, but there's thank you. So to support it further, actually to communicate that transparently, to comply with the external pressures. Sometimes we say it's enabler as well as it's a pressure on the company. For example, the new rules and regulation in favor of more sustainable act, whether environmental, societal, or economical even. So this could be a main enabler for any green culture. On an international or a larger global scale, some enablers would be to have a strategic alignment with UN SDGs, or even to have like something like ISO 14001, or to follow sustainability reporting using the GRI standards. In fact, just we mentioned enablers, there's like a clear barriers to green culture, stuff that hinders that. Clearly, the lack of knowledge or awareness, if they cannot understand what's going on, they will start to resist what you're asking for. So you have to train them to lower resistance. A key success factor to eliminate resistance to any change is to make people involved and understand what's going on. They need the importance of what you're doing. One main reason behind failure is misalignment. You write something and you act something else. So you have to make sure that your goals is actually aligning with your actions. Above these are actually weak enforcement. You might have policies, but it's not in fact implemented nor working. So you have to make sure that it's actually enforced. Sometimes we say that sustainability is important, but not necessarily that always all sustainable act is leading to cost reduction. Sometimes it's more expensive in the short run, but again, focus on the value creation, focus on the long-term goal. It's not always about cost reduction in the short term. It's about more or less the long-term orientation. Why would you work toward a green culture as an organization? I believe in our knowledge economy nowadays, and the amount of knowledge accumulated, whether in the society or even in the smallest consumer we have, is enhanced reputation. People invest in reputation using marketing or ads technique. However, you can invest in your reputation, in your brand image, by acting green and responsible. This will automatically lead to more loyal customer. According to a number of significant research, consumers and even employees do care about how you act toward the society and the environment. Lots of consumers started to boycott a number of businesses because they are not responsible. Whether they are abusing labor, whether they are abusing the environment, they are not acting sustainable. Sometimes you can actually reach an efficiency through reducing operational cost by energy saving, for example. Reduce risk of not complying to laws and regulation, reducing risk on a bigger or a macro level when it comes to climate risk, for example. So, in fact, to make this all possible, you have to measure your culture. How can you measure your culture? Through sustainability audits, through surveys, through having green KPIs embedded in your performance review, for example, CO2 emission, water use, waste reduction. You can have leadership matrices to assess sustainability targets, to align with ESG reporting. You can have even cultural indicator, for example, to what extent your employees are actually engaged in green programs. The more, the better. This reflects better movement toward green culture. What we need to remember for that, in a very brief form, that sustainability is not just strategy, it's a culture. So if you want to succeed in terms of business, a green business, in terms of sustainability, you have to have a strategy that's supported by culture. None of these can work in isolation. If you want this to work, you need to have a green leader. A green leader is the key success factor for a lasting impact, to make sure that this happen not only on paper, but on reality. What we have to care about, that it's not always about mega investment or huge steps. Even the smallest consistent steps would drive a culture, a green culture. We can argue, and heavily argue, that green leadership is no longer optional. With the level of accumulated knowledge in the economy and the society, acting green or acting responsible is a matter of time. Even if you do not do it willingly, you will have to comply in the near future, more or less. So culture is an important factor that, as a business, you need to consider. Culture is the real driver for a long-lasting impact. You cannot deal with sustainability as add-on or an extras. You have to consider that sustainability is an integral part of your organization. So, as we conclude, a very important question to ask yourself today: what's one change your organization could make to embed a greener culture today? Thank you so much for your interest, and I would welcome any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dina, for these interesting sharings. And I think now we are moving to the second speaker, and the second speaker be Ms. Safina Yaqub. And Ms. Safina is the founder and CEO of Future Forest International and Herbal Asia from Malaysia. So the floor is yours, Ms. Safina.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam. Uh, I would like to thanks again Dr. Wissam and the team for inviting me to speak at this conference. I think this is a very noble act to bring all the industry experts related to sustainability and climate action and how we embrace our subject matter in this shared and collective moment. Yeah, I want to bring forward what I have done for the past 22 years before the big word saying the sustainability, basically, especially in Malaysia itself, involving all the big organizations. But actually, I'm bringing to the very micro level, which is the community, the family, people in the rural area who doesn't really playing in the big picture, but actually they are in the what you call this in the pipeline or in the process or in the foundations of how sustainability actually creating what you call this creating impact to their livelihood. So basically, where I'm coming from is I was in the public relations and advertising and brand marketing for the past 30 years. On my last project is on observations of ethnic Aborigines community in Peninsular Malaysia. From there, we find out that a lot of data, which is very overwhelming, and how this rural community maintaining their health and beauty just using the medicinal plants, meaning to say in the current society, as for now, the consumer behavior coming back to the basic. So I would like to take everyone into this journey of my herbal journey, which is through empowering the community, empowering the communities through herbal industry. So here we are. We want to share the green business model for sustainability and climate resilience. So as I mentioned just now, back then, I would not say the word clash with the pharmaceutical industry, but then during that time, it was 20 years ago, herbal is not something very famous for all the consumer. Those are facing health issues, yeah. And later on, when we pushed the idea of going back to the natural-based solutions, yeah, and the ingredients and these kind of things is not available in the open market. It's all still in the backyard activities. So by organizing the very focused trade show, and this poster had been created way back like 10, 15 years ago, and a very simple branding, you know, it's okay to say yes to herbs, meaning to say herbs can be for the beauty, for treatment, yeah, for self-healing and so forth. I would like to giving some what do you call this deep dive about herbal revolutions. So I've wrote it there, and quite small for me to look at it, but I'm summarized it. As for today, based on my experience organizing this herbal trade show, which is exactly almost 22 years, so the increase of herbal demand in the market, especially in Malaysia, increased every year from 10 to 15%, be it from import and export itself. So meaning to say the society is already aware about the benefit of it. This is where the element of sustainability coming in, whereby a lot of product nowadays, the customer are very self-conscious. So they want to make sure that the product is not contaminated and must be organic. So these are the indicator which indirectly create impact where the product coming from, and how is it produced, and which area or the place that happens. So people, product, and the planets, yeah, which is the 3P elements, which is not so complicated for all the project managers to implement, which is some of them are not aware of it, is become a very strong element to empower the community, especially in a rural area. I will not going to read this long detail, but whoever that can read it is some more. You can grab some important points that I share. Okay, Hub Asia concept actually I integrate with the 5P framework, which is the people, planets, products, and prosperity, and the profit. When the community project that I'm taking, when I'm involved and hired by various countries back then, we follow this simple framework, and which is easily can be interpreted and can easily to duplicate and transfer the knowledge to the community out there, yeah, whereby the knowledge of the certain place which is attached with the people and their culture and their heritage, which we try to conserve their knowledge, their primary knowledge. From there, we extract the what do you call this? Primary data, the informations. So this data is reflect to a plant and the culture and the heritage, which is passed down by generations, and it remains to with the people in different countries. So there's no what do you call this? No, I would say copycat informations, or the origins of certain story is really attached to the people. What I'm trying to say here is, when it comes to sustainability and also the output of the product in community empowerment, usually we always refer to the what sort of a plant and how the plant can be converted into a product. Yeah, because some plant origin can be looks the same and smell the same, but it's subject to the soil where the plant growth. So this give unique selling point for them to claim the more detailed information about the particular product. It relates to the story of the people and place. So in the brand marketing, it is important. This 5P is quite a simple framework and easily can be adopted. Okay. Compared to other plant, herbal medicines actually is playing a vital role in agriculture activity. So in creating, managing sustainable herbal farming, actually we can justify it very clear on the herb as the carbon sequestrations, yeah, whereby these natural the herbs have this ability to capture the carbons from through the method of a sustainable farming itself, whereby the herbal plant itself, when it dry, it become a natural fertilizer to the plant itself. So when we harvest the materials, is easy to extract the active components from a herbal plant itself. So this is much easier to commercialize it, and we can justify the elements of the 5P just now. Yeah. So growing herbal medicine plants is more beneficial as compared to any other agri crops itself. Yeah. And Another thing is it reduces a chemical dependency. I don't want to detail out because it's a very much technical informations, but as I mentioned just now, in terms of for the community itself to play their part in the supply chains, it's much easier for them to grow herbs because it's automatically and easy to justify the plant itself or the raw material is organic. Yeah, and the sustainable practice which is include in this herbal farming, which is as you can see there, I would like to see closely. Yeah, crop rotation. Herbs have what do you call this? The yield can be double if the selections of herb can be combined together, which we apply the methods such as permaculture or agroforestry itself. So this can have a triple yield for a particular identified crop for specific area which is suitable with the soil, and also specific community. Like example, some of the project that we have done in Thailand and also in Sarawak, because of the what I call this, the area, some is very hilly, yeah? Some is in the lowland, so the soil and the access, yeah, the road access to that village is not convenient. So we integrate these certain herbs through the agroforestry activity. For example, we integrate tiger mug, yeah, they call it tiger mushroom, yeah, with the agar wood, which is the agar wood itself giving a shade for this mushroom activity as a cover crop, yeah, of Adendit. So that give a triple double income for the community that we have the program under the empowerment community empowerment in Sarawak itself, as a simple example as that. And based on what today concept is, we want to highlight how we can build the climate resilience. Yeah, some herbs are very resilient, especially that grow in the agroforestry plantations, and because we have these wild medicines integrated farming under the agroforestry concept, so the plant become very resilient and the use of water is limited. Yeah, so this is where we practice the best agriculture practice, which is the sustainability element is already integrated into that. Of course, farmers doesn't understand these big words, but as a project consultant, we embrace the sustainability practice to them. So we have this simple framework that easily for them to follow. Yeah. So in terms of supporting biodiversity and ecosystem health, yeah, as I mentioned just now, either we are using, we are always successful adapting the agroforestry concept, permaculture, which is really justify high yield, and also we in between we have this tissue culture propagations for the some sensitive plant, for example woody plants, yeah, like agar wood itself, yeah, some sandalwood, yeah. So this is technology have to come in and to enhance the process of transfer of knowledge to the community itself. Okay. As I mentioned earlier just now, these are the how we justify the community empowerment through herbal industry. Actually, really can empower the rural community, especially herbs is very close to women and family, because by giving this opportunity to them, this is the opportunity except for their health, medicines, to get access for their health facility. Going to the city is a very less fortunate for them. So through herbal healing and herbal medications, we empower the knowledge to them. For example, many diseases that happen in the rural communities, such as diarrhea, malaria, diabetic, high uric acid. So common herbs that which is we do contract farming with the big brands, and indirectly also we implement some simple medications for the community that we empower for them to use for their family. So indirectly, this gives the opportunity for the community there to be able to embrace the herbal medicine and herbal wellness among the community itself. Yeah. So this is become a trendy nowadays. I think all of you aware that many, not only in Malaysia, throughout the world, people are going back to doing growing functional medicine, functional plant, around their in their backyard, and slowly scale up, become a contract farming, and now scale up, become a contract plantations, for a big brand itself. So now currently it's become a way of life, and these markets are really booming. So in the daily usage now, as you can see, very people are very health conscious, and previously we only heard about yoga and a rehab center purely attached with the hospital using some medication, but now they are already welcoming alternative medicine, herbs, to enter into their facility. This is a big opening for the rural community people to be part of the big growing market itself. So sustainability culture, which is the culture of going back to the natural-based solution, going back to the natural ingredients, going back to the natural remedy, is a way forward of life, which is the prevention is better than cure kind of way. We're saying it always. So how we justify in a very simple way? Everybody confused about how they want to embrace a sustainable way of life, in sustainable way. So in Herbal Asia have this focus area SDG, which is SDG number 2, number 3, number 8, number 13, and number 15. These are the pillars that we've been embracing for the past 22 years, and it really work, and we are continue doing it every year, and it's really a remarkable journey, and the community is growing, and as you can see, the output to the markets, the product is getting more refined and premium. So some of the project that we have done, mostly we work with state government, a lot of state government work, and under the United Nations and WWF, we carry out many community program on conservations of medicinal plants, and the community involved, and as you can see, the ambassador from the Germany and the EU there, and also a representative from WWF. Yeah, you can see me holding the a tuber from the village itself, and the community having dinner with us after we harvest some crop that we do with them on the contract farming. Yeah. So these are the area we empower people, place, and product. This one in Sarawak, Batang Ai is the largest dam. Actually, is a lake here, where there's so many ethnic community are living in the different small islands there, as you can see here. So the product from there is the medicinal plants, agar wood. We help them to set up the agar wood plantation, and we integrate with other herbal plants. Yeah. And this one is in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. I was assigned to manage and monitor sustainable farming for hemp, and about 100 farmers are involved. Each the farmers are given 2 to 3 acres of land, and they grow selected. We teach them how to choose the plants and grow from the seed of this hemp, and we help them to process the hemp to make what you call this, a wool. Yeah, to make to later convert it to make the rope and other fiber products. And the Herbal Asia yearly events, we also, besides exhibitions, trade show, and the conference, we help the market sourcing that come from every part of the world. We have a group from US sourcing for a raw material, which is we match them with the community that we empower, and also we match with we collaborate with the university and research center, that whoever that looking for some specific raw material and specific research have already available in Malaysia and other ASEAN country. So this one, we also assist community empowerment and CSR for big brands. We work with a few hotels and also hospitals. Of course, the community involved, as you can see, is Aborigines from Peninsular Malaysia. The crop is vanilla, coffee, some other medicinal herbs. Yeah. And these are the branding activity and the collaborations that we do with the hotels and some cruise, which is from the community farming. We have herbs that we convert to tea and also sauce. Yeah. So, and we, of course, the market channel through the hotels and resort, and also the cruise. So yeah, we have managed to organize almost 22 years, 22 times of trade show and exhibition and various community empowerment program. And yeah, we give the full 100% commitments to anything related to community empowerment in Malaysia and also ASEAN. Thank you very much. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Safina, for this interesting sharings and all these experiences and the community engagement. So now we move to the third speaker, Dr. Mustafa Megrahi. And Dr. Mustafa, he's a director of Atlantis Academy from the UK. So the floor is yours, Dr. Mustafa.
I think you just muted yourself, Dr. Mustafa.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam, for the introduction. Thank you for the previous speakers. They are really highlighted very, very good and interesting aspects of the sustainability. As we start with Dr. Dina, she highlighted on the social responsibility and sustainability culture in the community. I mean, in the community as well as in the businesses. Also, thank you for Dr. Sabina. She is highlighting the fabulous work regarding the herbal business and how we can work in sustainable way. So my talk is about waste management solution for catering sector. As we know, we have a lot of restaurant, takeaway, and cafe, also hotels, and some other community activity which they produce a lot of waste in different form and shape. So waste management is growing an environmental concern, and we have to do something about it. And one of the most, especially in the UK, is the catering sector, because we have thousands of restaurants, cafe, as well hospitals. They produce a huge amount of waste, and those waste, if we don't manage them nicely and sustainably, they will end up in the landfill, and the emissions of the gases will increase daily and will impact the environmental as well as health. Also increase the temperature, and so we have to utilize these sources in a way so we can avoid all the risks and all the challenge which we face. So in 2024, waste, you see, especially only for catering sector, produce approximately 1 million tons of food waste. So it is not a small amount, and this will cost us to handle it so millions as well, rather billions, to get rid of it and handle it. Restaurant waste, statistically, it is around 320 million. You see, meals. They discharge. Sorry, I have a cold and I was in a travel, so excuse me for my voice. So these meals, most of them, they throw them away without any treatment. So the key waste reduction strategy, as the first speaker mentioned, we have to do a strategy in order to reduce and to be looked like we are acting eco-friendly and sustainably. So we have to have in place in restaurant and takeaway like stock control and forecasting for each individual restaurant, how many clients we have, and how we prepare the meals, and what kind of materials we should use in each meal, so we don't end up wasting the and have a leftover by the end of the day. So also implementing the portion control guideline. So we have to have, let's say, portion control guideline according to the necessity and standard for the UK standard or international standard. Engaging the supervisor or the business owner through training, as well as normal worker, is very, very important, so they will act sustainably and nicely. So one of the most issue as well is empower or encourage the habit of recycling and reuse solution, increasing the recycling of plastic, glasses, paper, and metals within catering sector, converting food waste into compost or bioenergy, collaborate with waste service providers to have a very good relationship with the companies and make sure that we have integrated system whereby we have businesses and the business owner, waste handlers, as well as with the community to raise the culture of the sustainability. Adopt advanced recycling techniques. So many techniques in recycling exist. So we have to look to different options and different opportunity. On a small case, on a matter of applying simple way of convert waste to compost, we start in Libya a small scale project whereby we use some waste within catering sector, especially cafes. So we convert that waste to the compost, as you see, and also we done it by our hand, me and my colleague. As you see in the picture, we handling the waste and try to make sure that we convert the waste to compost. We done a preliminary check on the waste, as you see the spectra, and we measured the radioactivity levels, and we found that there is no radioactive material at all. Whereas chemical fertilizer, especially the imported one, they have plenty of radioactive material, and it is really costly. So why we don't use some material? It is in our hand, it is around the corner, and instead of chemical fertilizer, which has a lot of risks and increase the number of cancer cases in every single country, whether it is in Libya, UK, Egypt, Malaysia, Palestine, wherever you go, we are really encountering a lot of problems regarding fertilizer, chemical fertilizer. As you see, because the second speaker, sorry, I forget her name, she's talking about a plant and how to grow. This is brand of aromatic plant, and it is very, very good. And we test the compost on the plant, and there is a huge benefit and help the plant, and also increase the fertility rate in the soil and enhance the it is I think it is a very good way to be implemented in your application. To conclude, effective waste management creates jobs, creates clean air, clean environment, and we have a good product, good way of handling the waste, and implement the term of sustainability in a practical way. It is not just highlighting in conferences and workshops without implementing the element of sustainability. In very brief, we try to be practical, to be around the grassroots, around the community, around the businesses, to help them and raise awareness of sustainability in a practical way and in very, very, very simple way. Thank you for your time, and I hope I made a few points here regarding sustainability, and I'm ready for any questions, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. Again, another interesting presentation, and I would like to thank again Dr. Dina and Ms. Safina for their interesting sharings. And I think this is one of the aspects that we are trying to bring here, a mix of experiences from academia, a rich experience on sustainability and green business, and to prove that sustainability, it's not only a theoretical kind of concepts, but it's more than it's rather concepts that can be deployed, that can create business opportunities, and this is the transformation that we need. So now I'm inviting Ms. Michelle again to moderate the Q&A session.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam, and many thanks to our esteemed speakers today. Such an enlightening conversation. And I know that we have just numerous questions that have been asked by our audience. And as we go into that, I want to just point out, also I want to give thanks to Tay, who is out there in the audience from our team, who is helping to manage the questions and then bring them over into our document to help us keep organized. So thank you, Tay. He is originally from Myanmar, and he is in the United States right now. But looking at our audience, we have members joining us from Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, Asif Ali, Multan, Pakistan, Malaysia, Hansia Kamala. Thank you for being with us again. Morocco, Strong Truth is with us always, so thank you for all of your questions. Myanmar, Algeria, Pakistan again, Algeria, Cairo, Egypt, Professor Yunus and others have joined us. Indonesia, UAE, Tabora, Tanzania, I think that's a new location. Terengganu, Malaysia, Nigeria, Libya, Ghana, we have Eric Apia from there, Jordan, Rina, who is one of our prior speakers, Indonesia, and many, many more areas and locations from those who are joining us live on LinkedIn. So thank you for sharing your location. I know that we've missed several of those, but I want to get straight into the questions and also just talk about our common thread, even though we have 3 different types of speakers coming from different backgrounds. There's a couple of common threads. One is about sustainability succeeds when leadership, operations, and communities align. So we've seen that from each speaker from a different angle showed us that climate action requires coordinated action. From a cultural transformation to waste reduction to nature-based entrepreneurship. And then the path forward is integrated, not isolated. So true impact emerges when organizations lead responsibly and industries reduce their footprints and communities build regenerative economies. So thank you. It's always nice to see that there's commonality between our collective speakers, and we'll head straight into our questions. And I'll start with Dr. Dina. And thank you so much for reminding us that sustainability is not an add-on, is cultural transformation driven by leaders whose model the behavior they expect from their organizations. So your message is clear. Culture determines whether sustainability becomes real or an imagined slogan. And one of the quotes that's going to definitely stick with me is culture eats strategy for breakfast. I am taking that with me. That is definitely something I'm taking from this and sharing with our leaders around the world. So thank you for that quote. We will start with our questions. Our first question is from Hanisa Camila. And Hanisa asks, Dr. Dina, what is your opinion regarding shorter working days? That is 4 days instead of 5, and how it can contribute to green culture?
I think this was a very interesting question because I've done a research on how can flexible work arrangement actually enhance the well-being of individual and employees. Interestingly, you find like a very nice link, which is that when people have this or enjoy this flexible work arrangement, working from home, working less hours, less number of days, this reduces burnout, reducing stress, enhanced productivity, and enhanced employees' well-being. So I think this is a major contribution to the idea of a green economy, a circular economy, or in a bigger picture. It's not only beneficial for the entire economy or macro level, actually it increased productivity, which is directly linked to organizational performance. So I'm totally in favor of the reduction of the working days because I don't think it's a matter of number of days you're working, it's a matter of the quality of output. So I believe offering such flexibility does enhance both organizational performance and the entire country performance.
Thank you, Dr. Dina. I couldn't agree more. I feel like I'm much more productive as we're heading into different and more flexible ways that we work and can travel and be in different locations and have that shorter work week. So thank you so much. And thank you for the question as well. And just as those that are in our audience, I want to point out the QR code that is up on the screen. This provides you with a certificate of participation in today's program. And also, if you happen to know of qualified, inspiring speakers who can join us, please also let us know through this link as well. And our next question will go to Ms. Safina. And thank you so much, Ms. Safina, for illustrating how green businesses can uplift communities, restore ecosystems, and create climate resilient livelihoods, proving that innovation grounded in nature and tradition can be economically powerful. And our first question is from Strong Truth. And Strong asks, how can running an herbal business become a sustainability way of life that supports both personal well-being and community health?
Thank you for the questions. That is a very good question, I say, and the answer is that is a way of life. And during this, I would say, the world facing a lot of very stressful situations everywhere. So access to medicines, not everybody can have that opportunity. I'm still going back and refer to the people in the very difficult area to get access to medicines. And for them, there's so less opportunity to choose a job. So the easiest way is farming. So we, the one actually, especially we at Herbal Asia, going extra miles to give the suggestions what to grow by growing herbs, specific herbs for natural healing can be used for their family and even the whole neighborhood. And same time, they can participate in the supply chains, which is now becoming very what do you call this? I would say is very a booming market. The buyer come not only within Malaysia, it's come far, far away, even from US itself. Every time during the trade show, we receive a lot of group requests are coming, and we straight away, match them with these community farmers. So I would say, even for myself, I'm a farmer myself. I have my farm, and I'm still feel very proud that I'm a part of the society, and it's really very lucrative business. And I would say, in a very simple way, you're growing for one particular herbs, which is can be sold to the market and can be used for yourself, self-healing, and also at the same time you embrace this best practice to the society. That is your sustainable way of life. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that answered. Yeah.
Yes, actually, I love to hear that this is more than just sustainable, that it's a lucrative way of life. I think that is an important message for those out in our audience that might know of people looking for new career pathways and also ways to just support, sustainable business as a whole. And again, being lucrative, not just sustainable. Our next question is for Dr. Mustafa, and we're so honored to have Dr. Mustafa remind us that sustainability is not only about innovation, but also about confronting that everyday realities of waste, something not all of us like to talk about, showing us how sectors like catering holds enormous untapped potential for environmental impact when efficiency and responsibility come together. I know we work with a couple of businesses in the United States that work with those large catering companies as well, Dr. Mustafa. Our first question comes from Eric Appia. And Eric asks, what role will digital literacy and AI skills play in preparing leaders for green economics? Dr. Mustafa? Oh, do we have you, Dr. Mustafa?
Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So would you like me to ask the question again?
Yes, please. It was mute.
Yes, no worries. Eric Appia asks, what role will digital literacy and AI skills play in preparing leaders for green economics?
To be honest with you, it is very, very good questions. We all believe on artificial intelligence and digital stuff, but still, at the same time, because I am from the classic schools, I believe knowledge and expertise is a very, very vital in this aspect. Especially, we are dealing with a very, very crucial element, which is really not yet understood. So we need to have regular workshops, seminars, conferences regarding the principle of sustainability. Then we end up highlighting the use of artificial intelligence and technology and modern technology about implementing the green economy and green principles in different sectors. Last week, I was in a conference on sustainability and Islamic heritage, and I highlighted myself about using the modern technology and artificial intelligence to improve the environment, how to monitor the environment, and how to deal with day-to-day environmental issue. So I really accept his, questions and his inquiry, but I believe it is better to focus on the principles of the stuff first rather than go ahead with a high-tech technology, and probably we will end having a very, very complicated answers on those issues.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Really, really good insight. And I know we get a lot of questions about the integration of AI and technology into the space. And it's always good to get new and fresh perspectives like that, because I know it's, especially when those of us are just using AI in the first, for the first time, then we see how fast, it can help our regular workspace, but to keep that higher level thinking first and foremost is a really important topic. So thank you very much for that. And we will go to Dr. Dina. We have a question from Professor Doa Salman, and they ask, do you think sustainability is the responsibility of universities or industry? Great question, just because we work with both industries.
Yes, I think it's an amazing question. In fact, I think it's a shared responsibility, because if people are not educated in schools or university about what sustainability is, how to be socially responsible, they can never apply it when they come to business or the industry. I think it's the cooperation of academia with industry that will make us more sustainable, whether on a micro or macro scale. So I do believe it's all start with universities. They have to educate people first about sustainability and why it matters, how they can apply it, why it is important, what barriers they might face. And again, it's for industry to integrate this knowledge and even take it further.
Yeah, thank you so much. I agree. It's definitely a shared vision that we need to make happen. And I feel like with what Dr. Wissam is doing and the connections Dr. Wissam has with the universities around the world, and starting to work towards the green skills coming into the new year especially, and bringing in university leaders, is really going to continue to make an impact. And I feel like that's what these programs have been about. So thank you for the answer, and also thank you for the question. Our next question is for Ms. Safina. And the question is from Hanisa Camila. And they ask, it was reported that synthetic drugs are more efficient than natural products. What is your opinion regarding this matter and the potential of herbs in Malaysian homeopathy industry?
Yeah, I'm sure someone going to ask this question, synthetic versus naturals. So it's a matter of choice for a consumer. You ask yourself if you want to consume synthetic or you want to be naturals. So since synthetics, always you are going to have this very impulse, acute, similar pain coming back under regularly, and you're going back taking that synthetic temporary relief. Where natural healing comes from natural ingredients, it takes slow pace to adjust to individual body conditions. It's not immediate, meaning to say it's subject to your, your body temperature, your hormone level in the body. So it's not abruptly distract or disruptions for your health. So it takes times, which is more than a week, slow growth, and you will gain the confidence in terms of relief, in terms of comfortable taking the natural base product or ingredient or something that you blend in your juicing. Yeah. So end of the day, consumer must have knowledge. You must read. You must cross-check. You must refer to the label, whether it is right for yourself, for your family, for the people that you love. So at the end of the day, anything related to synthetic can be very general and can be very cheap, and it comes with the convenience. You can just put in your mouth and you drink with the plain water. That's it. But anything with herbs, yeah, you have to make a concoction, meaning to say maybe you need to boil. Of course, you can't be lazy in if you want to take care of yourself. You have to have the discipline. So at the end of the day, you are your food. The food is your medicines. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Mustafa, we have a question from Komal Fatima, and they ask, how can we create awareness when it comes to catering? How would restaurants and hotels be willing to incorporate sustainability?
Hello, Michelle.
Yes.
I was mute as well, so sorry, I keep muting.
Yes, so Komal Fatima asks, how can we create awareness when it comes to catering? How would restaurants and hotels be willing to incorporate sustainability?
You see, if you see the policy of certain government or local authority, they conduct and they offer support for those businesses, and also they give, let's say, you see some investment for businesses to implement the sustainability. For example, in the UK, we worked with 12 businesses for waste audit. It is free of charge for businesses, and whereby we worked with them day by day and in a simple way how they manage the food waste, how they do waste audit for their businesses to know how much they produce per day and which element he or she can resell instead of throwing to the landfill. So it is when there is a well, there is way. So I think going to the business, working with the business, working with the local schools. Schools also very, very important because that is the gate for families. That is the gate for parents. So when the parent, when they pick student or their children from the school, and when they will ask them what you have done today, and if they say we had a session on waste collection, cleaning of the schools, day for the garden. So it is really, really very not easy, but it is approachable and it can be implemented on the grassroots levels. But if we are saying, oh, we will do gathering in 5-star hotel and we will talk about waste management, who is going to come down there? So nobody will get and reach that place. But if we plan the program from the grassroots, community, schools, worship places, mosques, different community clubs, I think we will succeed and we will get the message through.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I think that's such a good point, especially for those of us who are always having conferences around the world and picking and choosing the places where we're going to be doing that. And then also where's, how can we integrate waste management where we have even more control of the situation if it's at our place of worship and otherwise. So thank you so much. And I know we are out of time today. There are quite a few questions. I was just going to ask another question from Strong Truth. We have more from Hanisa, Camila, and others. I will say in the thread that is within the program, the actual program live, all the comments, I encourage our speakers to go ahead and feel free to go in at some point and answer some of the questions that we have not addressed yet. But I want to say this has been such a lively conversation today, and really appreciate our esteemed speakers as well as our audience and all the help that we have from our collective team, and especially from Dr. Wissam, who has brought us all here today. And I'm going to pass it over to you, Dr. Wissam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Michelle, for moderating the session. And again, a lot of thanks to the speakers and for the audience for their engagements and discussions. And I think, we can proudly say that we are creating an impact. And I think this is the aim of this platform. And hopefully we'll have more programs in the near future to assess the global setup in terms of the green transformation, and making a lot of evidence that it can be done. It is practical. There is a lot of success stories globally to be shared. So we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. and hopefully to see you again and to have more engagements in the near future. So have a good time, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.